Labis ang tuwa ng mga tao doon sa Sandigang Bayan kung saan ay attend si dating Presidente Rodrigo Roa Duterte, sinalubong ng maraming media, blogger at mga taong nag-antay sa labas sa kanya. Sa nangyayaring hearing ang kaganapan doon sa loob ng Senado, naging mainit ang tensyon sa dalawang panig na si Duterte at Trillanes. Pinagbintangan umano ni Trillanes si President Duterte na isang sindikato ng mga iligal. Kung matatandaan natin matagal na itong nagkakaalitan, kung maalala natin sa panahon ni President Aquino naging tauhan ito ni Aquino si Trillanes ang dahilan kung bakit nagkagulo ang agawan ng teritoryo sa West Philippine Sea dahil ibininta umano ito sa China. Narito ang video.
Sinabi niya po na ginagamit lang ang war on drugs ni Duterte para takutin ang sambayan ng Pilipino at takutin ang iba't ibang sektor ng lipunan para hindi siya paghinalaan dun sa kanyang sariling involvement sa illegal drugs.
Totoo lang, nakiting, I will resign and I will ask my daughter to resign and everybody in the family. That is my guarantee. And I will hang myself is the reality of the day. Pag sinabi ng korte, inosente si Dilima, inosente si Dilima. Wala tayong magawa dyan.
Ito po yung naging basis ko nung plunder case na final ko kay Duterte noong 2016. Presenta po yan, that's the smoking gun ng proceeds of the illegal drug trade ng Duterte crime family.
The former president be okay that if we draft the waiver now, that it be signed today instead of tomorrow? Will you be fine with that, Mr. President?
Anong kapalit, sir?
Hindi.
Sampalin ko siya sa publiko.
Hindi, wala naman.
Ngayon na.
Wala pong ganunan.
Mr. Chairman.
I'll give you, sasampalin ko sa
Mr. Chairman.
Session suspended.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this congressional inquiry, so God may help you? The oath has been administered, sir.
Okay, thank you, Check. Please proceed, Congressman Bong Teves.
According po kay former Senator Trillanes, sinabi po niya na piki ang war on drugs nung panahong administrasyon ni former President Duterte. May I ask to former Senator, bakit po niyo sinabi na piki ang war on drugs?
Ang statement po na yon na peke po ang war on drugs ni Duterte noong nakarang administrasyon. Ito po ay bunga nung nakalap namin na impormasyon at ebidensya nung kami ay nag-iimbestiga nila Senator Laila De Lima at dun sa aming sariling pagkalap na impormasyon at base na rin dito po sa testimonya, Mr. Chairman, ni Arturo Las Cañas sa ICC na naisumiting niya at nagkaroon na rin ng kopya dito po sa Quadcom at doon sa kanyang video sinabi niya po na ginagamit lang ang war on drugs ni Duterte para takutin ang sambayan ng Pilipino at takutin ang iba't ibang sektor ng lipunan para hindi siya paghinalaan dun sa kanyang sariling involvement sa illegal drugs. Kaya nga siya na-mention po na siya ang Lord of all drug lords. Ito po ay sinabi niya na mga kasabwat ni Duterte ay sina Michael Yang, Charlie Tan, Sammy Uy. At ito po si Michael Yang ay ayon mismo sa report ni Colonel Acerto na dating Deputy Director of the Drug Enforcement Group of the Philippine National Police. Sinumitin niya yung report tungkol sa involvement ni Michael Yang Dito naman po, dun sa sinasabi niyo po, Mr. Chairman, na si Jimmy Guba na Customs Intelligence Police, sinasabi niya na si Michael Yang ang involved doon sa magnetic lifters na shipment. Ngayon po, lahat po yan ay nakalap namin. Pero ngayon po, kung dahil po doon, tinignan namin kung ano yung ebidensya na pwede naming malink ito. Kaya nga po, binalikan namin yung mga bank accounts na nakalap namin kay Duterte noong 2016. Tinitignan namin kung merong mga pumasok na pagkapirahan dito po sa kanya. At doon nga po kami nakakita na mga deposito sa sa mga accounts ni Duterte galing po dito po sa grupo ng mga drug lords na ito. At kung papayagan po, Your Honor, meron po akong PowerPoint presentation para po makita po nila kung ano yung sinasabi ko na money trail, paper trail dito po sa drug proceeds ni Mr. Duterte and his family.
How many minutes will be your presentation?
Ano lang po yan? 5 slides lang po ito. Pero I will focus on the last slide lang ho.
Sige,
Mr. Chairman.
Sige, go ahead, Mr. Trillanes.
So, ito po ang sige, doon po sa mga unang slides muna. Ayan. So, ito po yung mga bank accounts na nakalap ko po ito noong 2016. Tapos, ito po ay na-validate na ng Ombudsman na kaparehas nga nung naisumite ng AMLAC sa kanila. Kaya, ano po tayo, kumpiyansa po tayo sa provenance nitong dokumentong ito. So, sige po, next slide. Ito po yung mga iba't ibang mga pumasok na pagkapirahan kay accounts ni Duterte. Tapos, sige po, next slide. Ayan. So, ang total po ng mga credits na pumasok ay 2.4 billion. No? Ngayon, kung ano talaga yung actual total, malalaman po natin yan pagka binuksan po yung accounts. Ngayon po ito, no? Ang pagkakamali po ni Mr. Duterte nung nagtatago siya ng pagkapirahan, ay ginawa niyang joint account yung kanyang anak na si Vice President Sara Duterte. Kaya ito po ay alam po naman natin na exempted sa bank secrecy law ang impeachment. So lalabas po yan lahat. Sige po, next slide. Ito po yung last slide. No? Dito po, meron po, ito pong mga transactions na ito, meron pong kay Vice President Sara, meron po kay Duterte, meron po kay Baste Duterte, meron kay Pulong Duterte, at meron po kay Hanilet Abansenya. Ito pong mga ito ay mga manager's checks under their name na ang origin po ng account ay yung isa dun sa mga drug lords na minention ni Las Cañas na si Sammy Uy. Ito po, ano ito? Siguro ng mga panahon na yan, 2011 to 2013, medyo kumpiyansa sila sa kanilang mga gawain, kaya may physical na checks, no? Pero after that, ang mga deposito diretso na sa account, so wala nang paper trail. Pero makikita natin dito yung pattern po, Mr. Chairman. Nagdidibidendo yung drug lord dun sa pamilya nila Duterte tuwing October at April, no? Kaya sunod-sunod po yan. And by the way, makikita po natin si Vice President Sara, meron po siyang 2 checking in-encash dyan under her name, manager's checks. Tapos ito po ay while she was mayor, no? Kaya yan ay direct bribery, no? tapos proceeds of the illegal drug trade. Ito po ang naging pruweba natin. Kaya nung cross match po namin yung dokumento na kuha namin at dito sa mga personalidad na minention po ni Arturo Las Cañas, na-confirm namin yung kanyang istorya. Nakita niyo po dyan, si Duterte, pareha sila ng amount na in-cash, no? Tapos itong mga anak, sila Baste Duterte, ayan po, tagte 10 million every 6 months. Kay Pulong Duterte, meron din. Ngayon po, lahat ito ay hawak yan ng mga bangko mismo. Meron silang physical copy, meron silang soft copy netong mga sinasabi na ito. Kaya hindi po yan pwedeng i-deny lang kasi alam naman natin yung mga estilo ni Duterte, mag-a-admit konti pero magde-deny to confuse everyone. Pero ito po yung smoking gun, Mr. Chairman. So, yan po, we concluded na peke talaga ito. Ginagawa niya yung war on drugs para proteksyonan niya yung sindikato niya na sina Michael Yang, Sammy Uy at Charlie Tan. So, kaya po nung sa Davao pa lang pinapatay po nila yung kompetensya. Tapos nung sila na ang presidente, ginawa nilang National Death Squad, ano, yung nangyari. Tapos si Leonardo nga po yung ginawa niyang point person. Tapos yung drug list na sinasabi ni Duterte, merong legitimate mga personalities doon, galing doon sa mga iba't ibang ahensya. Pero pag may kailangan silang isingit na mga kalaban nila sa drug business, sinisingit po nila doon. Kaya nga may mga tinutumba na mga involved din sa illegal drugs kasi kompetensya nila yon sa distribution. Kaya yan po lahat na yan ay napagtagpi-tagpi namin. So, kaya that would explain kung bakit protektado si Michael Yang kahit na may report itong si Colonel Asierto. Tapos hindi lang po yan, nung nilabas po yung report na yon, sa sobrang pagproteksyon nila kay Michael Yang, yung mismong gumawa ng investigasyon, yun yung gustong ipapatay at sinampahan ng kaliwat kanang kaso. Kaya makita natin, dun sa mga drug lord na hindi kasabwat sa sindikato ni Duterte, ano siya, porsigido siyang patayin, pero doon sa kanilang grupo, itong mga ito na mention, Michael Yang, Charlie Tan at Sammy Uy, protektado hanggang ngayon. Ni nga yung PDEA director ni Duterte na si Wilkins Villanueva, ni hindi nga masama sa drug list hanggang after 2022 si Michael Yang. Yun po ang dahilan kasi binilin po sa kanya yan ni Duterte. Salamat po.
May I ask the former President kung alam niyo po ba na kinasuhan po ni former Senator Trillanes sina Congressman Paulo Duterte, Attorney Mans Carpio for drug smuggling?
Hindi ho. Pero kung totoong drug smuggling man sila, they should be prosecuted in court. And if convicted, they should serve sentence in jail. Hindi ko pipigilan yan. Kung kung totoo. Ngayon, yung na-reason dito ni ko kilala itong taong to, forgot his name. Your Honor, if there is an iota of truth, ayuta lang, baski konti lang, you can find out, may nilagay siya ng records. Now, I'm willing to execute an affidavit or kayo na lang to summon the banks pursuant to my waiver, kung may totoo lang maski isa, I will hang myself in front of you. You can summon, I will sign a waiver, all banks, pati yung World Bank ng Amerika. Kung may isang totoo lang nakiting, I will resign and I will ask my daughter to resign and everybody in the family. That is my guarantee. And I will hang myself.
Mr. Chairman.
May I know,
Mr. Chairman.
Sir.
Unbecoming behavior. Init sa ulo lang yun.
Thank you very much for your apology. It is accepted, and I hope that the others beside you would also observe proper decorum. So, but thank you very much for your apology. SDS and
Mr. Chairman, may I move to strike off the word sampal on our record?
There's a motion to strike off the word sampal in the records. Any second to that? Second, any objection? There being none, Comcheck, you're duly instructed to please strike out that word.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secondly, hindi po basketball ito. Yung mga miro nang nag-aaway, yung mga players, kalmante lang po sana hindi na maulit yun. Salamat, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair. Just a
Congressman Adyong, I'll just give Attorney Degra a minute. I think he's been raising his hand.
yes.
But before I recognize you, Attorney, can you kindly turn off the mic of the former President para lang hindi tayo nag-aagawan dito ng... Yes, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. At the outset, I'm here among the resource persons because I was invited to be one of the resource persons, mainly, as mentioned earlier, as an item in the administrative matter to explain the circumstances of the two letters that we sent to the Quadcom on behalf of the President. So I am also not only a resource person here, but also acting as the legal counsel of the former President. That said, we have reviewed the agenda item for the 11th joint public hearing. And I hope we would be able to put things in context insofar as how the proceedings have gone through until now. And I noticed that insofar as what has been going on for the last 9 hours, this would only be limited to item 4, 5, and 6 in relation to the alleged extrajudicial killing in the Philippine campaign against illegal drugs during the previous administration. That said, Mr. Chair, we would like to be clarified because this is a legislative inquiry in aid of legislation. May we know what proposed legislation is being set on the table for the committee to consider and for the resource person to contribute their valuable inputs, if any, so that we can avoid incidents like what we just saw earlier, so that it will be meaningful, intelligent, accurate, and hopefully not accusatory in character. So that it will be positive.
Yes.
And as I've said, meaningful discussion, so that we'll be able to come up with effective legislations, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Actually, with regards to your point, Attorney Degra, 2, or if not I'm mistaken, 3 bills have already been filed with regards to the Quadcom hearing. Isa po dyan, may kinalaman sa forfeiture of illegally acquired properties, 1. Number 2, may kinalaman po sa EJK. At saka yung pangatlo po, may kinalaman po sa heinous crime. So, these investigations being conducted by the Quadcom has actually brought about a lot of legislation already. Other than that, our members are also looking into amendments of existing laws so that we can strengthen the institutions and the agencies by which the government operate in. Other than that, mapapansin po natin just very recently, naglabas po ang administrasyon ng ating Pangulo ng EO para sa implementation ng total ban sa Pogo. So, with that being said, Attorney Degra, Congressman Adjong?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just like to ask Senator De Lima, are you comfortable in your seat, Senator? Because earlier when there was a small incident commotion, I saw you froze for a bit. Are you comfortable in your seat? We can transfer you if you want.
I'm not comfortable, but I can stay here.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just concerned with our.
I'm not afraid at all.
Yeah.
Thank
I'm not.
you.
Yes. I'm just saying that for a little bit, I think you froze.
Salamat
And
po. Salamat.
Just concerned.
Thank
you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Senator.
Congressman
Mr. Chair,
yes, Chairman Benny.
I cannot help but say this, no. I'm a little bit insulted by the statement of Attorney Delgra. You know, is he trying to question this committee on the pieces of legislation that we are trying to prepare? Mr. Chair, I'd like to find out because it seems to me, Mr. Chair, that he does not actually believe in what we're trying to do. Now, Mr. Chair, Attorney Delgra, my committee, the Human Rights, have at least 5 bills that ought to be filed. And it is not our duty to tell you what those bills are, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Chairman Benny. We do take note of your observation, and I hope our resource persons will be a little bit more prudent when it comes to the comments that they will be eliciting in this hearing. Next on our list is Congressman Adjong. Yes, Congressman Adjong.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Maayong gabi, Mr. President. Kabalo ko, allow me to first speak in Bisaya. Kabalo ko, murag gikapoy na ta kay sugod tag kaninang buntag. So I will be very, very brief, Mr. Chair, in my clarificatory questions, Mr. Chair. Just allow me to thank the former President for gracing the invitation of this Quad Committee and for generously responding to the questions and for being candid with his responses, with his answers. Earlier, Mr. Chair, I noticed former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo was also joined this committee hearing, although briefly. And we also have the current Vice President in our midst. This is a rare occasion, Mr. Chair. It only speaks about the importance of the matter that is being discussed by the committee, that top officials of our land, 2 former presidents, were present in this discussion. It only speaks about the gravity and the seriousness and the importance of what we are discussing right now, Mr. Chair. So allow me also to, at least to premise my clarificatory questions, because some of the questions that I would like to ask to our guest speakers, guest resource persons, have already been asked by some of my colleagues here, and I don't want to labor on those questions. But let me just premise my clarificatory questions. I would like respectfully, if the former president would indulge me with his responses, on the premise that I believe there are certain basic rules, no, that one has to follow, especially for government officials such as ourselves. Pardon me, Mr. Chair, pardon me, Mr. President, if I premise that on a very basic tenets, no, in a basic principle of how the democratic process is being exercised and upheld and being promoted in a country such as ours. Number one, the rule of law. Mr. Chair, I'm not a lawyer, although I do have high admiration to lawyers, because I know for a fact that law as a profession is not only noble, but it is also challenging. And we are joined here on this table, on this side of the table, brilliant lawyers, and even brilliant lawyers were seated across our table, seated beside both sides with the former president, even seated behind the former president. I say it's a noble profession because lawyers are expected to uphold and to promote the basic tenets, which is the rule of law, and to uphold at least the due process, that the very essence of why we are having a very strong, and I suppose we still have a very strong criminal justice system. Because I know, Mr. Chair, as a lawyer, no matter how convincing the evidence being presented to an individual allegedly accused of any crime, a lawyer has to defend his client before any court of law in our land. So ganun po ka-challenging at ka-noble ang profession ng pagiging abogado. So I just like po to direct my clarificatory questions po to the former president. Mr. President, you were once a prosecutor, and tama po.
Yes, sir.
Thank you po. And Mr. Chair, if I also would allow the former president to interrupt, just as similar with what Congressman Rog, when he also asked the former president, I would also like to have that kind of arrangement. He can answer me whenever he wants. Wala pong problema sa akin yun, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. President, you were once a prosecutor, and then you served as a mayor of Davao City, and also a former member of the House of Representatives, and then went back to being a mayor again, if I have my timeline correct. No? And then before you ran for the presidency in 2016. And I guess the reason why we invited you over to this committee hearing is also, apart from giving you your fair chance of responding to some of the allegations, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, of some of those individuals who were, at some one way or the other, were part of the implementation of the war against drugs in your administration, namely Colonel Garma, Colonel Leonardo. These are the individuals who came out and then with affidavits that they have signed, alleged some things that happened during the implementation of the drug wars against the personality of the former president, Mr. Chair, and this is one way of giving you the fair chance of maybe responding to those allegations. And apart from that, Mr. Chair, Mr. President, you're correct. This is the primary consideration also of this Quad Committee, is to make sure that if there's any policies, laws, regulations in our land that have either weak or needs to be updated or needs to be amended, or for the Congress to pass a new law to strengthen our resolve in trying to protect our streets from illegal activities, criminalities, as well as balancing it with the upholding the due process of law. This is the perfect time for it. So again, I'd like to ask you, Mr. Chair, Mr. President, when you earlier admitted po na you were the ones who ordered the police, yung kill nga po, no? Sinabi niyo po. I presume you came from a position where, as a former prosecutor, there's something wrong with the criminal justice system in our country. I'd like to ask you, why po? I'm just curious po, no, Mr. Chair. Why did you? I don't know if that's an imposition on your part. Why did you have to go to length of ordering some policemen? Was there any wrong in terms of how our criminal legal justice system is being observed, practiced in this country?
Yes, sir. The matters of detention, very limited kasi that's about, you have 9 hours, 18 hours, and then 34. Yun know, sir, mag-imbestiga ka ng kaso. Kung anong sabihin itong tao na ito, you have to go out and find out the truth. And it takes time. So, in the meantime, you cannot hang on to this guy because there are periods of detention prescribed by law. So, yan ang problema because if the lawyer comes, talagang i-release mo yan, and by the time that you discover kung ano ang sinasabi niya, na totoo ano at hindi, wala na sa stasyon. Release. Of course, the periods would depend on the gravity of the offense. 918, I think it's about 36 hours. That's the most. And medyo kulang yan, sir. And usually, if there is a lawyer and there is a demand for the release because the law says that they can only be detained for that so many hours, wala talaga tayong magawa. And by the time ma-verified natin yung totoo o hindi, kung nagsasabi ng totoo, hindi pa wala pang abogado, when we find out the truth, pagbalik natin, wala na. And he is gone forever. So, we are left with so many cases na ganun ang nangyari, sir. Or even sometimes na you have to detain a person and he makes a confession. By the time that you discover really the truth, based on his confession, wala na siya dyan. Pag-discover may only to find out there are serious issues or criminal offenses committed, wala na siya. Because that's the law. So, talagang nakatali ang ng pulis, sir, ang kamay. Because matagal na kasi ito, sir. This is a 1935 revised penal code. Hindi na na-amend yan, sir. So, yung periods of detention, wala yan. Hindi na na-amend yan. So, it's an outmoded, not effective, no longer applicable to the present-day reality. Kasi noon, sir, mga kriminal, pwede takbo, magsakay ng karabaw, o mga sakyanan. Ngayon, sir, wala, they can move fast with all the available vehicles at their hand. So we have to amend the laws of criminal procedure, pati the criminal law itself. Sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Now,
Mr. Chair, with the kind indulgence of Congressman Adjong, can I just, in relation to what he's trying to ask, I'd like to ask the former President, with due respect to the President. So you're telling us that the judicial system in this country is not that effective. You said it yourself.
No, it's not effective. It has become insufficient.
Insufficient, but you also said that it's not actually effective. Because if you're saying that, Mr. President, I'm kind of confused because you would be giving the authority to the ICC to come here and investigate. Because they were saying that the judicial system in this country is not effective.
Yes.
Mr. Chair. Therefore,
I have to be frank.
Therefore, you are giving the right for the ICC to come and investigate. Are you doing that?
I will tell them a different story.
Because what you said when you were president was quite different to what you're trying to say now as a private citizen. When you were president, you were saying that there's nothing wrong with the judicial system in this country, so that the ICC has no right whatsoever to investigate. But now as a private citizen, Mr. Chair, I'm kind of confused because right now you're telling me that the judicial system in this country is insufficient and ineffective. Therefore, you are giving the right for the ICC to come in and investigate.
Civilian ako, sir. Iba naman yung presidente ako. That is a different story. Panahon-panahon lang yung lalabas sa bunganga mo.
So therefore, Mr. President, just one question uli, no? So are you trying to change your position now, being a private citizen, to what you said when you were president?
In what manner, sir?
As what you've said, that you were president then, now you're a private citizen. Because of that, you are able to say that the judicial system in this country is ineffective and insufficient, Mr. Chair.
Not ineffective, insufficient. Insufficient talaga.
Mr. President, I heard the word ineffective. I heard it.
Yes, sir. That's why I repeated it when I said
I have
ineffective.
I have big ears like you do, so I heard it, Mr. President.
Thank you, Chairman, with the indulgence of Congressman Teves. Ganito lang po, because Senator Trillanes presented yung mga bank accounts. May I ask this good former senator, how did you acquire these documents, bank documents?
Nung campaign po noong 2016, meron pong nag-abot sa aming opisina na ang pangalan po niya ay Joseph De Mesa, in-identify niya. So sinabi niya, meron siyang mga dokumento na pwede namin tignan. So kampanya po yon, hindi po namin nabigyan ng atensyon until siguro a few weeks after, nakita ko po, yun pong nandoon, iba't ibang accounts. Then chinek namin, binalidate po namin kung totoo yun, no? So may mga nagdeposito po na doon sa iba't ibang accounts ni Duterte, tapos totoo nga, legitimate po. Then, nung kampanya, nilabas ko po ito at inamin mismo ni Duterte na totoo daw kasi una, dinideny po nung kanyang spokesman, but eventually, nung na-corner na siya, inamin niya. No? Tapos, hinamon din niya po kami na magbibigay din siya ng waiver. It's the very same dare na sinasabi niya ngayon, o bluff na sinasabi niya. At ano po, ako po ay nagpakita dun sa BPI branch na yon sa Julia Vargas, pero siya po hindi sumipot. Ang sumipot sa kanya, itong si Panelo. Ngayon si Panelo, wala pong dalang waiver. Ang nilabas niya, special power of attorney na may specific conditions. Ngayon po, natapos na lahat yung kampanya, presidente na siya, ni ay ni oy, wala na po nangyari doon. Kaya ito po, inadmit niya na yan, mga dokumento na yan. Inadmit niya na yan, no? And let me just comment a bit, Mr. Chairman. Kasi yung sinasabi niya, in relation dun sa case na final ko kay Pulong tsaka kay Manscarpio, sabi niya, i-file daw sa korte at harapin nila. Pero yung mga libo-libong mga pinagpapatay never got that privilege of the due process. Pagka wala ka sa grupo niya, hindi ka sa sindikato niya, protektado ka, kailangan mag-file sa korte. Pero pagkakaribal ka at ordinaryong Pilipino ka, tutumba ka. Yun lang po, Mr. Chairman.
Man, can I have my follow-up question?
You have the floor, Congressman Paduano.
Former Senator Trillanes testified that that document was not acquired legally. It was just given to him, and with that, Mr. Chairman, though you might appreciate that bank records, but for me, Mr. Chairman, I am not a lawyer, but with regards to how authentic is the bank documents being presented to us by former Senator Trillanes, we must ask the AMLA, Mr. Chairman. So, with that, Mr. Chairman, unless Senator Trillanes can present to us another document that bank records came from an authentic, competent agency of government, Mr. Chairman. In this case, it's the AMLA. Now, Mr. Chairman, so with that, Mr. Chairman,
This is a very serious accusation. So,
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Chair,
Congressman Paduano has asked the floor, but with the
Yes.
indulgence of
No, I think the chairman has ruled a while ago the sequence of those people present in this hall to answer.
Okay.
I think we must follow that, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for reminding the chair, Congressman Acop. Now, Congressman Paduano, please proceed if that is your last.
I am sorry. I thought that you were tapos na.
Thank you, Mr.
thank
President.
you, Mr. President. Anyway, Mr. President. Now, with that, Mr. Chairman, and the former President has, a while ago, has a commitment to waive his right with regards to all the bank accounts that was mentioned by former Senator Trillanes. Now, Mr. Chairman, pwede naman parallel yan. AMLAC, at the same time, yung waiver if the President, former President, will sign a waiver with regards to all those bank accounts. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I will sign it, the document, tomorrow. And I will hand it kasi gagawin pa ng abogado. But I said, if there is an iota of totoo yung sinasabi, I will hang myself in your presence. I will invite you all to be a witness.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Congressman Paduano, si Congressman Bong Teves, and then I will allow former Senator Trillanes after Congressman Bong Teves.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My last question. Siguro naman, first, Mr. President, lahat po na tinanong ko po sa inyo ay galing po yan kay Mr. Jimmy Guban. Not for me. At kasi po ay na-invite na natin siya rito bilang isa sa mga resource person sa mga naunang hearings. And then, may I ask Mr. President, for my last question, given na po na na-acquit si former Senator Laila de Lima sa mga kaso niya tungkol sa drugs, as now, Mr. President, naniniwala pa rin po ba kayo na si former Senator de Lima ay queen of all drugs lords?
Sir, I go by what is the reality of the day. Pag sinabi ng korte, inosente si de Lima, inosente si de Lima. Wala tayong magawa dyan. Kung magsabi ang korte, guilty si Duterte, wala rin kayong magawa dyan. That's a democratic process.
Ibig sabihin po, nagkamali tayo ng pag-akusa kay former Senator de Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Okay, former Senator Trillanes, you are now recognized. Mr. President, you will be reacting to the
Yes, sir.
query.
Sabi, de Lima na-acquit?
Yes, ang tanong natin kanina is, ang na-acquit po si si Senator de Lima at sinasabi po ni former President na kung ano ang hatol ng batas ay 10 ang masusunod. Ibig sabihin, nagkamali po ba ang ating dating Pangulo sa pag-akusa kay former Senator de Lima na siya ay isa sa mga queen ng drug lords?
Sir, saan mo narinig yan? Bigyan mo ako ng kopya. Saan mo narinig yan? A recording or a newspaper. Pangalawa, sir,
Hearing resumed. Mr. President?
Yes, Your Honor. If I'm lying or if my statements are falsely stated, or if there is an iota of magbigti ako. So, in the same manner na kung magbigti ako si Trillanes, dapat magsabay rin sa akin.
Okay, duly noted of your thoughts, Mr. President. Former Senator Trillanes, you're recognized.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chairman. Ito pong dokumentong ito po yung naging basis ko nung plunder case na final ko kay Duterte noong 2016. At ito po ay inimbestigahan ng Ombudsman at ang Deputy Ombudsman Arthur Carandang, and I think the Quadcom can invite him. Siya ang nag-conduct ng investigation. Humingi siya ng dokumento sa AMLAC at kinonfirm niya. And because of that, tinanggal ni Duterte si Deputy Ombudsman. Now, aside from that, so pwede natin, suggested by Chairman Paduano, na yung AMLAC mismo, unless, since hindi naman na siya incumbent, ay pwedeng ma-access yun with the waiver. Pero we've been there before. Nagsabi na yan siya na magbibigay siya ng waiver. Puro bluff yan. Pero hindi. Kaya nga, mas maganda kung ma-draft na po natin yan ngayon para papirmahan niya yan dito. No? Para wala ng alibay. Pero ito po, I'll be presenting later on, Mr. Chairman, a video of his actual admission of these accounts. No? So, ito naman pong mga cheque na in-encash, in-extract lang namin from that long list. Mga managers' checks po yan, hindi nawawala sa system po yan. And later on, exempted sa impeachment cases, kaya pwede po lumabas yan, ipepresenta po yan. That's the smoking gun ng proceeds of the illegal drug trade ng Duterte crime family. Salamat po, Chairman.
Thank you very much,
Sir, I have to respond to it. This guy
President,
is
with all due
story.
respect, just so that we can put to rest this issue of waivers, because it's been going back and forth. Will the former president be okay that if we draft the waiver now, that it be signed today instead of tomorrow? Will you be fine with that, Mr. President?
Anong kapalit, sir?
Hindi.
Sampalin ko siya sa publiko.
Hindi, wala naman.
Ngayon na.
Wala pong ganunan.
Mr. Chairman.
I'll give you sasampalin ko sa
Mr. Chairman.
Session suspended.
Session suspended.
Sabi.
Order, please. Order.
Observe proper decorum. We are in a committee hearing. We have already stressed from the very beginning that the proper rules, decorum, will be implemented regardless of who you are. We live by a set of rules in this committee, and those set of rules will be followed, and those set of rules will be implemented.
If I may.
Wait, session, it's still suspended. It's still suspended.